10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Sometimes don't even answer the question that was asked. I don't know if that's a common thing these days, but it seems to be the case at this TI at the very least. But very bold, under 30 minutes, Cinder. I do believe.
I mean, that's about half my interactions with Slacks, though. He asks me a question, and I don't really answer it because the question was bad. But that was actually a pretty good question, so I'm proud of him. I think he's improved a lot. 30 minutes?
Yeah.
I like the confidence, obviously. I think if they'd interviewed Chu, he would have been like, yeah, we'll probably find a way to win, I suppose. But Immortal Faith is a little bit more animated, and a little more, you know, he makes more maybe radical predictions. I would be very impressed if Game and Gladiators win this game in 30 minutes, but the thing I really like about hearing it is that I think that is what they should be setting out to do with this strategy. Because I kind of agree with him when he says that they're going to outpace OG. I think there's portions of this game that should be happening. And then it's about whether OG can weather the storm and buy themselves enough time. Also worth noting, Amar playing, in this tournament he's been playing Sand King a couple of times. This is not a traditional Amar hero in the sense that it's not a lane dominator. It's not a hero that scales particularly well with farm compared to a lot of other picks he has. So maybe this time around, if things do slow down a little bit, it's not as much in the bag for OG later either. Because I think carry Naga in this game is not automatically going to win this late against a mid Kunkka and a safe lane Shadow Fiend. There's plenty of AoE damage, have solutions. So it's going to be really interesting to see. And obviously, or not obviously, but honestly, more important than the strategies, how do OG bounce back from that last game? Like, we can't overlook the fact that that was a game they feel like they should have won. Do they have that mental reset next stage?
We already have a level 1 battle here. Dyrachyo gets off a couple nice raises, but won't result in a kill. As in terms of the actual bounty distribution, I believe it's going to be split here. Sport's still to come. Yep. But yeah, we're going to see the Invoker again come out from OG, which was obviously extremely successful in that game number 1. But and they have the Naga again, but this time it is in the carry role. So looking at their lineup, what is their goal other than to win the game? Don't make that joke. Like, what kind of a pace are they trying to set? Like, they just want to stem the bleeding, which is the laning stage for them, or?
I mean, there's plenty of combination plays for OG, right? You have Sand King Mirana, as was pointed out. You have the Sunstrike. If they can make a couple of successful early skirmishes like they did in game number 1, I definitely think their mid game can be really strong. But I would say their lineup is more dependent on being able to do that. Like, let's say nothing happens for 10 or 15 minutes. I think Game and Gladiators have this really, really strong potential push with Tombstone, with Beastmaster, with the Shadow Fiend, and Kunkka hitting this like really strong mid-game peak. And it's their bread and butter as a team, right? This is what they were so good at earlier in the year, so you would imagine that they have the confidence to pull it off, playing this faster pace.
Yep, and once Ace gets a couple items, Helm of the Overlord, I would assume. That's kind of a, feels like a bit of a death ball, where they try to get these towers relatively early, but we'll see what the pace ends up being for them. Mid lane is Boom on the Kunkka this time around versus, as we talked about, BZM's Invoker. What do you think of the Kunkka pick this game? Because that's, a lot of these heroes have been kind of recycled throughout the series to some degree, other than Sand King, I guess, Mirana, and this Kunkka.
Yeah, it's a hero that generally does very well against Invoker, but I think Quasic Sword has a a much stronger laning phase against it than Quaswex does, so I would imagine this lane probably pretty much breaks even. That was one of the parts why they picked it. I think the other one was to cover their bases in case Naga goes carry, right? We had the same situations in game number 1 where OG have the ultimate last pick, so you want to make sure you don't expose yourself to having Shadow Fiend have to deal with Naga on his own in case it goes late. Right. So it felt like a little bit of a very nice solution to finding a hero. They were probably like, okay, what hero can we choose that lanes well against Invoker and can help us against a potential carry Naga? And I think they made a good choice. Also the whole pacing thing, right? I just think this lineup, it's nice to look at. It's a clear story to how the heroes want to combine and get something done.
As the axes come out from Ace in the bottom lane, harassment continues. Again, this is game number 3, elimination match here. Winner will play the winner of the next series to come. How many OG fans we have in the house today? Okay, not bad. What about Gaming Gladiators? Oh, wow. Okay, actually more Gaming Gladiators based on my old ears, Cinderin. But good to see. Nice distribution either way.
Or maybe they're just louder.
Yeah, very, very true. The vocal minority, as some would say.
Yeah.
No.
But I'm sure they made some fans in that last game. That was a nice
absolutely.
comeback.
I mean, you talked about the momentum potentially coming out from something like that. I mean, OG, it feels like they don't get affected by it as much as other teams that are, I mean, they're pretty young, right? But I think that storyline kind of them being affected by stuff like this kind of ended after the last major. Celery taking some heavy damage. There's the leap from Taiga. Another one. Right click to come. And he'll end up getting first blood as a result of it. Taiga just continuing the roam on this Mirana.
Yeah, you just can't underestimate the Sunstrike factor. It's always going to be there.
Oh, Burrow strike Sandstorm into the arrow. Even bigger kill coming out from OG in the top lane.
That was very greedy. Did he not expect the Mar to be there?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Hey, honestly, the worst part about look at how many denies a Mar can get here or CS that Shadow Fiend loses. He lost a full wave. I mean, sure, Celery gets some experience here, but that is just not a good start. And you know, Shadow Fiend Undying lane, I would pick any day against Sand King Mirana to have a good start. Just Undying being a dominant force in this lane with decays. He feels very safe, but Sunstrike is that X factor. You just can't deny that that is the kind of thing that can swing this kind of lane, and OG are making use of it.
I mean, that's how Arrow is balanced, right? It's hard to hit, but if you have the setup stun,
Yep.
it's pretty scary. And Burrow's not too bad for that ice path as well.
If you want an arrow that you don't have to hit, you can play Gyro.
Okay, sure.
It's a lot weaker than a perfect arrow, though.
That's right. It's not as exciting, some would say.
Oh, again, top.
Dire's
Racho. Oh, they didn't
coming out. Sunstrike not gonna
miscommunication
connect.
there. Or I think Taiga didn't see the line for the arrow, so he didn't go for it. He went for the leap Starstorm because he felt like he was going to hit a creep. Racho counting his lucky stars there. If there's an arrow connection, he's dead again. Glimpse. Ace safe.
Trying to get rid of these pesky illusions via the axes.
Yeah. And look at their inventories bottom as well. Ace with the triple mango Basilius and Tofu with the triple mango. So just really
Ace loves these
non-stop
mangoes.
spamming. He does.
Even last game.
They're just spamming. Yuragi running low on that region. There's a couple of tangos left for Misha to pull. And he has to be careful himself that he doesn't get too exposed here. He would almost die to this Thunder Strike. He has Stick and Fairy. Will have to use both, I think. The Fairy will be safe. The Tango running.
Tofu successfully dealing tons of damage as this support disruptor.
Get Ace's CS line here. 13 denies.
Got the ensnare. Sunstrike to come, and that's enough. BZM. That's going to help him in the mid lane.
Yeah, it's going to give Yuragi a bit of breathing room. He's getting crushed. He's 19-0 against Beastmaster's 34-13. So 13 denies on that Beast. Definitely has a big laning or level advantage until that Sunstrike kill comes in.
And mid lane before that point, I mean, basically even on the CS between BZM and Boom. And we'll see if BZM kind of changes the build at all, or if he's just going to go the exact same thing. I mean, obviously the Midas not too big of a surprise. And then after that, we'll see.
I think he'll do the same again, yeah.
Loaded to the gills.
This does not feel like a Midas Sand King game, though. I will make that prediction ahead of time.
Yeah, pretty good call.
That would be one of the worst heroes maybe to get that. Especially, he actually farms relatively fast once you get the Sandstorms up, but...
Yeah.
I mean, this is...
Yeah, don't you worry. Amar's going to max Sandstorm, okay? There's a limit. He's not maxing Burrow Strike.
Understand.
No way.
In terms of CS, or net worth overall,
Dire's top tower
kind
is
of
under
averaging
attack.
out right now, but like you said, Ace is kind of tipping the balance a bit in Gaming Gladiator's favor between the two offlaners right now. And
with a very fast Helm of the Dawn, this bottom lane actually becomes a lot scarier for OG. I don't think they can really afford to send their Mirana down here to do cleanup duty. Like, if you swap Mirana and Jakiro, I think your top lane is very susceptible all of a sudden. Jakiro does not perform nearly as well as Mirana against Undying Shadow Fiend, so that lane swap wouldn't really be too good, I think. Snare bottom.
Sunstrike coming, but it's going to be shared, it looks like, between Tofu and Ace. Still, these axes glimpse now onto Yuragi. He's getting very low. Has to pop the wand. The ice path used to dissuade GG from continuing on, but Taiga has TP'd in. Leap into the Starstorm. Not going to have to find a kill as Misha's taking the Thunderstrike damage from Tofu. So, despite the TP coming out from OG, Gaming Gladiators are the one that gets the kill.
I'm very curious what Tofu's skills are.
Amar in the Sandstorm. They have the vision. Has to burrow to the high ground. Looks like he's fine.
What does Tofu skill? He's still holding his point. There's the glimpse.
Oh, Yuragi! Ace gets credit for that one, and this bottom lane, absolute disaster for OG.
This is just such a high-pressure lane. Just Axe spam, Thunderstrike spam, glimpse now dealing damage. I think perhaps the mindset that people have when they see Disruptor picks where they're like, this is a position 5, is a little bit outdated. Because now that Glimpse deals damage, I think he offers a lot more in offensive dual lanes. Just really... It's not insignificant. If you're ahead in the lane and you force enemies away and you get that extra 150, 200 damage that you didn't use to. And also keep in mind, this hero with farm, I would argue Disruptor scales pretty well. He has an insane axe. He has really good talents. Like, don't count this out as a potential 4-pick later in the tournament.
Mars going to be seen here. There's the dust. He is X'd up as well. Torrent to follow, and the raise tries to time it, but can't. As Boom gets credit for that one.
Son of a...
Nice arrow from Taiga taking out a creep, but still, this feels like Gaming Gladiators' pace at the very least. They're finding the more valuable kills overall. We'll see in terms of the mid lane. Obviously, we've seen the Kunkka kind of participate already. BZM with the Midas now in tow. Once he gets the Boots of Travels, I assume that's his go time to get a little bit more involved with the team. Wow, that was a lot of neutrals instantly. That sound was quite aggressive, actually.
He's gonna find Ace here. Couldn't snare Sunstrike this.
Yep, they're gonna attempt to...
Oh, nice block on the arrow.
They're not gonna connect, but they still have so much damage to work with, and Ace drops to BZM. It's the second time this game.
This is gonna come at the cost of Amar being in Struggle City up top. Like, Shadow Fiend has a firm control of this lane. He's completely alone on that Sand King, and even Boom was still fishing for an extra kill, but Amar with a good defensive ward had that vision and information.
Tower is under attack.
Got caught.
Coming in, but the creep wave arrived. But the ice path connects. Boom getting cold snapped into the meteor. We see the static storm place to zone them out, and it's gonna be enough.
All right, so I think
Get Boom away.
spell accuracy there was not the highest percentage. The static storm hit.
I heard Celery say something towards the end.
I think Tofu said good shit, bro. Good shit, didn't he?
I thought that was Celery.
Oh.
Very positive team, though, I will say. I like listening on their comms. Game pretty even, though. Let's talk about the eventual Roche to Calm Cinder. You know, I love these conversations.
Yeah.
There's two aspects to it. One is killing Roche and how fast, and the other is team fighting in that area.
Yeah, the fastest kill will go to Gaming Gladiators, I think, unless Naga is very farmed. Even with Alacrity Invoker factored in, you have Shadow Fiend and Beastmaster, just two of the really good heroes at killing the Roche. Together with, obviously, Flash Golem, Tombstone, everything. But the team fight around it is more tricky to call, right? Both teams have so much to work with. There's the Naga song into destroying Tombstone. That's an option for OG. You have tons of combinations if enemy heroes stack up between Sand King and Invoker.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Then you also have something we
Radiant's
haven't really
bottom
talked about
tower has fallen.
in general. Don't talk about that much with Kunkka. I think Ghost Ship is really important in this game. I think damage mitigation, whenever you're playing against a lineup that has this much like one-shot burst, the Ghost Ship can really make a difference. They're gonna find Uragi, no song skill.
Ghost Ship is a coming. Gets hit, Dyrachyo even priming his ult, not even needing it though because the Static Storm is placed with the raises in addition. More than enough damage to take out Uragi. See if they go for this tier 1 tower, but OG, they've time and there's the epic giveaway! The Blink Dagger comes out as well from Amar. As Dyrachyo is getting very low, will drop inside the macro fire. It's gonna be a trade for the Jakiro though. Taiga able to leap out, but still inside that kinetic field as they end up taking out BZM on the sideline here. And 4 dead overall in favor of Gaimin. They lose the Shadow Fiend, but still, numbers on their side.
A good play from Tofu. That is so crucial that he finds that there. Sand King with the Blink reveal, Blink Epicenter stun, instantly glimpse to the top lane. You're going to see it here. So gets this initiation. He sees him there. He gets the glimpse while the ult is channeling. So only the burst strike comes out. And sure, you get the Shadow Fiend for it, but that's everything thrown away. Gets sent to the top lane and doesn't have that second burrow strike that could have really cemented this fight potentially for OG. They get punished big time and lose the mid tower. That's huge. Rush is like, damn it, but good job, guys.
We've seen a few of those in this series for sure.
Yeah. Shadow Fiend is very susceptible to getting blown apart by this spell combo that OG has, and they do showcase it there. But the cast around him, it feels good when you're playing Shadow Fiend and you can die first and win a fight. Because a lot of the time this hero is sitting on so much of your team's net worth and he's somewhat frail, and you know, you get punished really hard. That time he wasn't even needed. Sponged up damage and
oh, we have the gank here coming out from OG, and they're gonna find themselves, boom, gets off this Ghost Ship, but no avail here.
He's in with a tip, missing the arrow on the Sand King stun.
Doesn't need it. But they do see this juicy stack, and be a little bit of a slow one, but we have the glimpse top lane, Static Link, and the Roar expended. Looks like BZM is going to tick out here one way or the other. Amar, TP top. They might find the trade on Tofu, but see Celery in his flesh golem form. That Soul Rip available, and Dyrachyo's come to play as well. You can see the Tombstone dealing a huge amount of slow here.
Nice from Amar.
Able to find another kill in favor of Gaimin.
Well done.
And the tier 1 tower.
Dodges the glimpse with Burrow Strike. One of the only mobility spells in the game that can do that. If not the only, actually. It has to be a short list. If you time it, the way it works is that...
Storm Spirit.
Yeah, Ball Lightning. No? I don't think you can
Radiant's
Ball
top
Lightning either.
tower is under attack.
So Burrow Strike is really special because like you actually technically do get glimpsed back, but then it takes your end point of the Sand King stun. So you want to cast it so that you begin the animation as you're getting glimpsed back, but you finish the animation after you have returned to the glimpse. If that makes sense.
Radiant's middle
It's a pretty
tower
narrow window, and I can come from Mars.
They're going for the counter boom again. The arrow Sunstrike combo as well. Tofu, he has to walk away knowing that boom will likely fall again in the same area.
They almost didn't have enough in the tank there, but just enough. Another 100 health on Kunkka could have made a huge difference there.
They're still guarding the enemy Ancients, and finally they will attempt it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Have the vision here, obviously, as Gaimin Gladiators. We'll see if they try to contest. I mean,
Gaimin they don't really see that much here.
Yep, the axes come out. A couple of those, but a lot of these are going the way of Amar.
Oh, he steals the dragon. Taiga's gonna run it.
And coming into effect as well. And Taiga inside that fireball.
I can tell you with 100% confidence, I would have done the exact same thing there and died. That was a black dragon with 100 health that Ace took over. He leaps to try to arrow and kill it. It gets soul ripped by Undying, who's randomly there in the fog. There's no way out.
A Roshan. Tombstone is down as Gaimin. They're feeling it right now.
This is where their lineup really comes online, and you gotta say, Immortal Faith, 14 minutes left, so you gotta
That's
start
quite the
pushing
time where
here.
BZM would be a very big kill. Thunderstrike giving them some vision. Runs back into the Static Storm, attempting to TP out, but boom is here. Bow and all. They get the Aegis, they get a high value kill. Gaming Gladiators looking extremely good now in this game number 3.
Yeah, they also defend their mid tower still. Remember, this tower did get to have health quite a while ago, I believe, and just haven't been able to finish it off. And this is when things can get really scary for our lineup like the Radiant. Naga needs time. She is not ready yet. She has a Manta only. The enemy team has Helm of the Overlord, Tombstone, level 2 only for now, but Taiga, leave. That's not a good glimpse, but it's good enough.
It's dealing damage now. It doesn't matter anymore.
That's true.
He just wants to get an assist. Wait, did you get an assist back in the day when it didn't do damage?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I think it still counted.
Dire's bottom
Well, Amar has been
tower
in
is under
the enemy ancient area for seemingly the last 10 minutes, it feels like.
Yep.
Radiant's
Very
top
comfortable
tower is
here.
under attack.
You're just going to have to give up these towers. I think, realistically speaking, OG might just lose their entire tier 2 line here, because Shadowfiend has 4 minutes on the Aegis. The team fight is extremely terrifying to take into Tombstone, Hawk Vision, Helm of the Overlord Dragon.
Radiant's
It's just too much, right? I don't think they can really solve it. The question
they're
is,
going to force the fortification.
what do you do about this one?
Yeah.
Immortal Faith.
Immortal Faith.
He gave them maybe too much of a buffer. Maybe should have said 20 minutes.
That's right.
There's the X.
Tier 3 already at half HP. Torrent connects, but they're just doing the damage to the tower right now.
2/3 of it down.
Absolutely.
And he didn't use Tombstone yet. They still have that for the next wave. They could honestly consider this. The stakes are
I'm
really
sure
high,
they're
though.
assuming that a bunch of TPs maybe came in the fog, but
Yeah, but
play it safe here.
there's honestly the possibility that you can choose not to care there. There's a pretty big difference between OG's lineup in this game and the previous in game 1 when they had the Monkey King.
The Moonlight Shadow coming out. Dota's coming though. Looks like Taiga's gonna be the recipient of that again, and 2 supports likely to fall right off the bat for OG. 5v3 advantage. Tofu, never mind. He's the support to fall for Gaming now. Yuragi's gonna be found out. Now this will be a huge kill. Song ends up resetting for OG. This should open up Gaming Gladiators' way to just push down the mid lane potentially, but Amar's thinking the same thing. Takes out the next wave.
Invisibility.
Managed to cut that. This is pretty crucial for him, buying that time. I think if he doesn't do that, that tower's gone. So, good job there. Effectively delaying the game so BZM can close in on a BKB, and Yuragi surviving there also very important. But you're seeing the pace that Gaming Gladiators can put with this lineup. It's very, very quick. And are they actually going now? All right. That's good enough for them. No song.
Yep, that's a big spell down for sure. 2 minutes on the Aegis still. Macropire's there. Arrow connects. Can they get the first life from
Dire's bottom
Duraccio?
tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower.
Gonna get Soul ripped back to a respectable amount of HP. And looks like they might just be setting their sights on the tier 2 mid instead here.
And in the meantime,
Radiant's middle tower is under
BZM solos
attack.
the bot tier 2 towers Invoker, opening up outpost possibilities.
Oh, that arrow. Could not go anywhere. Doesn't matter
Radiant's
though.
middle tower has fallen.
And remember, coming into this series, I believe the stat was in the last year or so, was it 17-4 in
Yes.
OG's
Radiant
favor?
Yeah.
are
Is
scanning.
that series or games?
Games.
That is absurd. And now we're on game number 3, brink of elimination for each team.
This would be the right time for Gaming Gladiators to finally get a win again.
I mean, we talked about it before game 1. That's a lot of learning opportunities.
Yeah.
Every loss is a learning opportunity for sure. And with only a minute left on the Aegis, not sure if they can go for the last tier 2.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Gaming
attack.
want to play this.
Might want to burn it top. Like, I think you really...
Get that tier 3.
Yeah, I think you take the risk here. Okay, maybe not.
Oh, the initiation on the Ace. He's dead right off the bat. He'll have the buyback. I'm not sure if he wants to expend it, though. X into the Torrent. There's the big Requiem to follow, but doesn't really connect on much. Taiga does go down to the right click, but that's still a support for your off lane. At the center from Amar. Sunstrike to follow. Trying to take out the support on the Disruptor. They're going to get the Undying Force, though. Static Storm not on a whole lot as Duraccio off to BKB. Trying to stand his ground. He gets a double kill for himself now. But BKB has run out. The song connects along with the Ice Path. That's life number 1. Orange to try to slow this down, but Duraccio looks to be completely surrounded, and he's going to be brought down by OG. Tofu somehow lives, despite basically being the one initiated on his boom. He's going to get tornadoed. Now blocked up by BZM. Doesn't look like they have much more catch to follow, though.
That is honestly the dream for OG, the way that played out. They kill Beastmaster first with at no cost. Like, that is Ace just being a bit out of position. They were biting over more than they could chew, right? Shadowfiend was already looking to go and hit top, and in the meantime, Beastmaster was pushing the mid wave with his body instead of just the summons. And Amar just pounced on that opportunity immediately, and they get themselves a huge defend, because not only do they kill that Beastmaster and win the fight, they end up saving their top tier 3 by going aggressive in mid. I think if Gaming Gladiators connect top with all their heroes, they drop their Tombstone, and the 1 minute Aegis is live on the Shadowfiend, the bare minimum is that they get the tier 3. And they could have maybe got a lane of Rax with any sort of good team fight. Now the Aegis ended up going completely to waste. All that is from one moment.
Well, they did get a bunch of towers out of it.
Yeah.
Some damage to the tier 3.
It was more in
that moment.
In the context of what was happening there. But you're technically correct, so I can appreciate that. Good job.
Yeah. Shout out to Syndra.
Yeah.
For appreciating
Shout out to me.
Yeah, pretty even game, and we are a little bit less than 8 minutes away from the timer that Immortal Fate put on the team.
Yeah, clock's seriously ticking right now, but I think...
Wait, what's the real clock, do you think? Like, when do they... Is there actual a timer like, okay, this is too late now?
Dire's top tower
They do have some scaling options.
I don't think so, as long as Kunkka goes the right items. I think Gaming can even win this game minute 60. But I do think it gets trickier and trickier, to be honest, so...
Radiant's bottom tower
This second Aegis, I would say, if that goes the way of OG, I have them all the way. Goes the way of Gaming Gladiators, they have a good moment of opportunity. Find Celery here.
Yeah, Burrow, and all the setup in the world for the old Sunstrike.
I don't think it gets much hotter than that in the Dota universe. You got Macro Fired and Sunstruck at the same time. That's... I love it.
Conversation a little bit later is Dyrachyo, Requiem coming. Not able to dodge with a mirror image, but looks like the Naga will get away anyway. Well, at half HP is the Moonlight Shadow keeping cover. Nice power strike on the 2 from Amar. At the center to follow. Sunstrike as well. And Ace is dead again. And only Dyrachyo and Boom left. The ensnare keeps the Shadow Fiend in place, and it's looking like the death of him as well. The meatball surprise brings him to his knees. Double kill for BZM, and OG now back in the driver's seat.
Really, really good spell casting, and killer instinct there from Amar. Finds both setups just perfectly done. Recognizes what he can do, and again, Ace on the Beastmaster gets nothing off. He has BKB. He's actually really farmed on the Beast. He's the highest net worth in his team, as usual, almost. With Helm of the Overlord, BKB doesn't matter if you get Burrow struck and full-on burst comboed. So this right here, when this fails, you have to hard disengage. But they're sticking around. You see they're kind of like going back and forth. They're uncertain what to do, and that Burrow strike right there just seals the deal. Ace gets blown up, full-on spell comboed,
top tower is under attack.
they even have that ensnare from the side to boot. Just beautiful Dota from OG, just finding the angles and the right picks when they're given the opportunity. And all of a sudden, now this looks pretty damn grim for Gaming Gladiators. This move, I dare say, this move has to work. If this works and they get Roche, they can kind of stabilize. If it fails again, Naga's starting to reach critical mass soon.
Yeah, we can see the Roche timer is pretty damn late this time around, so... but yeah, I agree. The second Roche is a requirement for game, and it feels like.
Radiant are scanning.
Both sides smoking, though. Boom showing himself in the enemy triangle. Cover of illusions. Amar and company tries to initiate Taiga. Nice Burrow coming out. Ace again getting locked down. Sunstrike to follow again. Pops his BKB finally. There's the Primal Roar now on top of Amar. Still with the BKB, but you can see Requiem from the sideline. Not quite enough to take out Amar here. But the axe out, he gets out of that as well. Amar, slippery man.
They still have vision on him for
They
Clem's.
do. Finally, Klim's back. Double kill for Tofu of all heroes. That's true. Gem drops. Unfortunately for Gaiman, Roche not up anytime soon.
Dude, that... If I'm honest with you, the game could have almost... I'm not going to say the game could have ended there, but Amar did not find the stun of his dreams there. He actually had a 3-man lineup, but he only hit the first guy. I think didn't manage to click on the back hero in that stun and just ends up getting only one here.
Right here. Wow.
Look at that potential stun combo into Ice Path. They literally just wipe them out if that lands on 3 heroes, but instead, Ace gets to play for once in this team fight. Huge impact there with the Roar, obviously ultimately leading to the Sand King kill, and they've already killed the Mirana, so...
middle tower has fallen.
Could have been the stun of his dreams. It's still not terrible, right? Like, you still have decent control, you didn't lose Roche.
Yeah.
ZM, he's Needs to keep in mind the enemy team has the gem.
Yeah, they seem more scared of him than vice versa.
Yeah. The gem is on Tofu though, and he's not frontlining, so they didn't see BZM run up there.
I see.
Pretty bold, honestly, to do that in that situation as a Invoker. I mean,
Force
yeah, you have
back.
BKB, but
Duraccio is going to get X back. Defend this easily though.
Are scanning.
It's a nice benefit.
yeah, and they're going to keep the Roche control. 20
Roche.
seconds to go now.
Indeed. Roche number 2, so very important.
The shard too, if you get it on game in here. Shadow
Probably
Fiend, I guess?
Beastmaster.
Do you think that's
Oh,
better than Nessa?
he has it
Dire's
already.
middle tower
I think
is under attack.
despite that, probably Shadow Fiend, right? So, I don't think Tidal
Dire's
Wave is worth it.
structures are fortified.
Probably not. You're just sitting in the pit, but you can see the smoke now from OG. They are ready for this potential fight here. And Roche has begun. Gonna pop the drums. They really want to get this quickly, but OG are here. Sunstrike's gonna give them some vision. There's the Burrow Strike at the center as well. Into the Ice Path and Macro Fire. Massive damage being applied. Finally, the BKBs come out. Duraccio with a massive Requiem for himself. He's just going for the Roche, but he's gonna get used. BZM takes the Aegis. OG gets the Roche as well. And now they're gonna try to turn this around onto Duraccio with no BKB anymore. Massive fight for OG. And the Ice Pad clips Ace, who has to BKB TP. He'll be fine, but OG winning this fight and getting the Roshan. I didn't see if they got the shard, but I assume yes. It looks like BZM took it.
I think that was a tornado from BZM, by the way. It wasn't a Yule, right? They don't have a Yule.
Oh, yeah,
they just
maybe.
literally just clutched it out. Perfect spell casting there. And Amar... Oh, Amar has a Yule. Never mind. But it's crazy.
Now they're going high ground.
Sunstrike was so key there. They really needed that vision.
Look at that
Celery.
damage. Celery dying in his own base.
It's going really fast all of a sudden.
Yeah, tier 3 is down, and now the focus onto the mid-racks.
Gaming Gladiators in a hurry. They have 1 minute, 15 seconds left to win the game. Immortal Fate.
Immortal Fate!
You gotta rally the troops here, straight down mid. For your prediction to come true.
Now with a 9k lead for OG, this is looking good for them.
Like, honestly, that pit fight, if they don't have Sunstrike, I don't think OG win that fight. I think they
Just for the vision?
They absolutely needed this vision. It gives Amar the certainty that he can epi-burrow these two heroes before they BKB. I mean, this is so hard to decide in the moment. I think...
Let's see.
No, I don't even know what you do. You have no idea when the pounce is coming. It's Gaming Gladiators, right? You just don't know when to pop BKBs. Man. Good stuff from OG there. Get themselves a 10k lead and an Aegis on Invoker. And at this point, with how their lineup works and what they're set out to do, looks like Gaming Gladiators need to do some pretty massive outplaying in the coming team fight to fight 2 lives Invoker with Blink Hex BKB.
Yep, it's going to be a tough one, no doubt about it. And we haven't even discussed Iragi too much this game, but he has a Scotty, Manta, Butterfly, and working a Heart next. He is going to be tough to bring down for sure.
And I think the problem here is Boom is going Hex, right? And it's a lot of the time on Kunkka, this is a good item in this slot.
Radiant are scanning. Dire's top tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Very calm. I would have been screaming, something like that. But we're going to see a smoke from both sides. They're going to collide immediately. And Burrow Strike onto 2. Undying deleted. Ace and Boom able to get off their BKBs, though. In mass for the entirety of Gaming Gladiators. In fact, now they might have to back off as Ace able to get the correct Naga Siren with the roar. This is all in a defensive measure. On the run, Duraccio trying to Satanic back up to a healthy amount. Good amount of damage, but Ace is dead, and now the Ice Path connects. And this is looking very, very bad for Gaiman as they lose their Shadow Fiend as well. And the song just to cancel any potential TPs. Tofu spills 3 for 1 OG.
Yeah, this is starting
Radiant's
to look
bottom
more and more
tower
like a
is under
formality of
attack.
just going down the lane and getting lane of barracks now for OG. They have 50 seconds on the Shadow Fiend. Without that hero, Gaming Gladiators can't fight. And what I was getting at is that you're going Hex on Kunkka, which a lot of the time is good here, but the problem is you don't have the damage against Good
actually canceled it. That's very nice timing. The is going to connect. Triple meteor thanks to the shard. BZM not going to pursue any further. But Yuragi finds himself a celery.
Yeah, he was trying to delay things bottom by cutting out this wave.
Dire's middle
BZM has the
barracks
edges,
are
so he
under
doesn't really
attack.
care if he gets killed here, to be honest. He wants the mana back, so he's just going to go and hit the tower.
Indeed. And they're pressuring the bottom tower as well with
Dire's
Yuragi and
top
all his
tower is
illusions.
under
Tier
attack.
3 top
Dire's
falls.
top tower has fallen.
Boom, still trying to defend. Tornado comes out. The BZM
Dire's
still,
bottom
like you
tower
said, that
is
age is still in tow here.
Dire's
It's
middle
going to jump
barracks are under
in. It's off the cold snap and the ice wall, just buying some time. And finally, the Aegis gets expended as Yuragi is going to be taking out the bottom racks in the meantime. But Static Storm, Ghost Ship is coming, and the Roar on top of it, and they do get BZM.
Wait,
A lot of damage being applied to all these buildings, but no racks quite yet. Song in retreat. And still the melee racks alive in the bottom lane with 200 HP.
how the hell did Tofu notice Static Storm there? There was 1 second cooldown on the BKB on Invoker at the end of that kill.
Oh, he probably just did it.
They just
regardless, right?
they just felt it, you know? They're like, in my mind, when Invoker plays like that, oh, he has BKB for the second life, you know?
Right.
But they actually took the chance that, on the off chance that he doesn't have it ready yet, we get the kill there, and they did. That was really surprising to me that they find that kill on BZM and effectively defend all 3 lanes. They've lost all the towers, though. Literally everything is just right for the taking. But
Dive!
that was pretty crazy, and yeah, okay, I like this from Boom. He deviated from the Hex. I think he realizes they need more damage. Like, the Naga illusions are too big of a problem. They have 4k health. He has to be able to deal some more AoE cleave. He's going now for the Silver Edge, which is a good connection item. I honestly wouldn't mind seeing him going Rapier after that if we get to that point instead of Hex. I think you're in that territory now where you have to take huge risks in order to pull it off.
I mean, how good is Rapier these days on him? I mean, with all the changes that have made in the last few years.
I think it's pretty solid when you have the Silver Edge.
BZM
He's going to pick up Hex very soon. He needs another few hundred golds.
getting close to Lincoln's.
Did I say Hex?
Few
I meant
hundred away.
Lincolns.
It's fine. We're on the same page, Cinder.
Yeah, we agree. He's buying item.
You can speak gibberish and I'll translate for everybody.
Double damage.
Almost
Smoke on
MKB
both
on
sides.
Duracho.
Radiant are scanning.
That was a joke I'm just going to ignore. Oh, the leap out. No connection quite yet, but the glimpse finally comes in. Able to get the vision at the last moment as Taiga gets dropped. But OG not afraid. They want to continue on. Amar able to get the one with the Burrow Strike. Requiem, kind of the zoning. Oh, they pop the BKBs to try to get away from the Song. Kind of an awkward engagement overall. I don't know, but the Ice Pack connects onto 2. Tornado to follow. Both supports controlled right now as Misha trying to outrun this Triceratops and zombies and gets destroyed by a Hawk, it looked like. Triple Meteor now. BZM just playing with his food. Not able to land that ghost ship, so BZM finds the distance.
Now that would be an interesting team fight to have the True Sight audio on. Because like, go back. I don't know, I'm out, guys. I'm still here. Okay, I'm coming in from the side. OG did not seem like they were on the same page with what they were trying to accomplish with that song. Kind of, I mean, it's one of those moments where you might have a really good idea as one player, and then one thing you're counting on from someone else, they're a little bit too far away or whatever, and you end up like walking back and forward. Considering how that was looking, I think getting out with 2 support nets is probably pretty decent for them. Because that could have got really scary if they had chosen to commit a little bit too much. So end up settling for that relatively minor loss, and I think it's time for both teams to start having a look at good old Stone Guy. Spawn timer obviously not known to the teams. We know
Bit
it.
of a late one again.
But it is the area to play on the map now. I actually think the biggest concern for Gaming Gladiators right now is how do they deal with BZM's Invoker now that he has Lincoln. I actually think it's really, really tough for them to solve this hero with the heroes that they have available right now. He's creating insane amounts of space. He's forcing them to use BKBs, and they can't really go on him first unless they get some sort of really clean way to break the Lincolns. Like, you can X-Mark or Glimpse into Roar, but it's just very, very hard. He's so fast. He needs to have vision. Not easy at all. And he keeps pushing in this bottom lane. He's constantly forcing rotation. That time it was Kunkka with the X mark. He can't do that again.
BKB now up for Yuragi. Of course, he's had the heart for a little bit now, and at this point, he is running out of room in his inventory. I guess the treads can go, potentially. I don't know about the old Aghanim Scepter this game, but we'll see. Moonlight Shadow. Sentries immediately placed. Boars have died, thanks to the Aghanim Scepter via the arrow. Very tense here. This could be the final fight for Gaimin if it goes poorly for them.
They decide to send in their Thunderhide.
Yep, Triceratops gets the ward successfully. Getting soul ripped now. The fight between Triceratops and Demon going the way of Demon with alacrity.
Yeah, but now they have a wolf.
And the wolf is very powerful. It's from another dimension.
As evolution has shown, stronger pet. Okay,
oh, nice
almost.
sidestep by the wolf.
Yep.
Gaining intelligence via evolution.
You have the good vision here actually placed, which could be a moment of opportunity. They see a lot of heroes right now. Now they don't.
And okay. Back. This is all about when Roche is up. And obviously the vision for Gaimin with the Hawk potentially here playing a big role. And let's see if it's the Ags. It's Refresher Shard. All right.
Good on Invoker though.
It is very good. Less exciting, let's be real. Aghanim Scepter.
I don't know. I think an Invoker Shard is exciting.
Very good, like I said. Wolf is still alive, in case you're wondering.
Yep.
Hawks have been spawned. But surely there's going to be sentries in the area. Yep, the dual breath. An idea that this is here.
Horde Spirit's really important there, actually, giving him some much needed information.
Amar, the Tombstone comes out, so that cancels the Blink Dagger, but here's the song just to kill Tombstone. See if they can turn this around on top. The Ice Path connects onto Celery. Dyrachyo gets off the Requiem as well, but it doesn't really connect on much. Ace gets the blink up with a nice double burrow from Amar. Inside this kinetic field are two members of OG. They find the first support, the 1-for-1 to start. Buybacks galore though, as Dyrachyo trying to right-click his way out of this, but he is not doing anything, it feels like. The Death Requiem comes out. Ace and the rest of Gaimin on the run. Epicenter, Amar, all right, blinks to the high ground. On the other side of the ice wall, and it looks like that's going to be the death of Boom at the very least. OG trying to clean up even more as Ace on the high ground, being slow to a crawl and being brought down again. And OG in prime position to move on here in the lower bracket of TI-11.
Yeah, if they were to just push now, they would get Megas. There's 2 cores without buyback on Gaimin, but they will get the Roche first. Keep it safe. They're not over-rotating for the Roche, though. They're doing it with 2 heroes and leaving a little bit of a cheese for fun here, letting it ferment for later, then it heals more.
That's right, that's how it works.
Tastes better, too, which is not unimportant. Top racks are gone.
Creeps will take care of it. And onto the mid lane, OG goes. Tofu trying to stem the bleeding, but I feel like they might just have to give up the Megas and try to fight outside of that. Because they don't have these heroes up quite a while. Plenty of time for OG to try to finish this right here, right now. The Burrow Strike onto the Disruptor. Does have buyback though. Seller's going to be spotted in the trees. Tornado not going to connect. Along with the Sunstrike as well. Looks like he'll make it back into the fountain. The song being used to control them. Ice Path. Oh, BKB from Dyrachyo, but if you have to use that next to your fountain, that's probably good news for OG. Limps back on a Taiga, but the Mega Creeps have come. The zoning is successful. Trying to focus on a beautiful Burrow Strike from Amar. Ice Path to follow the Dyrachyo with the Requiem from a good distance here, but they're really just working on the illusions. That's what's taking so long. And again, OG 4 minutes on the Aegis. Now we have the Deafening Blast. The 6 meteors come out, burning them in their own fountain. Epicenter to follow. Gaimin Gladiators will fall as OG will move on. Ace, the last remaining member of Gaimin, but he's going to die inside the fountain as GGs are called. So Gaimin Gladiators, a great year overall, but eliminated here at TI-11. And OG will move on.
OG victory.
That was spicy. If you think back 15-20 minutes ago, that looked like OG could have easily been on the ropes with one good top push. Gaimin Gladiator's strategy was not far from being successful in what it was trying to accomplish